So, with little time to dwell on the disappointing result against Wilder's mob from down road at weekend, Wednesday back on the road as we travel down to London to take on Millwall. Now Millwall, top half at table and decent home form, 3 wins and a draw in the last 4 fixtures there. But there was a glimmer of hope for Wednesday despite what happened at the weekend and the fact we hadn't had a win in so long. Because our points this season have been getting picked up on the road. 3 draws and a loss out of the last 4. So a glimmer in there, a glimmer. I think there's a different mindset when we're on the road. Obviously the vociferous backing of the Wednesday faithful, and it's a different pressure, isn't it? In fact, perhaps that's it. Perhaps that's part of it. At home, there is a pressure to entertain and to get the points, and I don't think you particularly get that away from home. It is a I think it's away matches where that tribalism comes in, and that sense of sort of togetherness with the supporters and the fans, and away fans will support even at times really poor performances because there is that thing, you're travelling to another town, another city, and I think there's a little bit of that. And also, when you're away from home, the onus is not on you to go out and be the attacking team, is it? You can go away from home and shut up shop or be a little bit tighter, and you'll be cheered for it, you'll be applauded for it. Whereas shut up shop at home and try and play on counter, home crowds don't really like that, and I don't think that matters what club you support. Anyway, I'm rambling. I think it's because I'm so cold. Let's have a quick look at the Wednesday lineup. There were a couple of changes. So Wednesday, overlapping goal, a back 3 of Iofa, moving back out to right-sided centre half. He's got over his back strain. A full league start for Liam Cooper coming in the middle of that back 3 with Max Lowe on the left-hand side. The 2 wing-backs, as usual, Fuzier and Amas. The midfield 3, the same, Valerie, Bannon and Ingleson, but a little sort of shuffle around a bit. We saw Barry Bannon in a much higher up position today. Charlie McNeil coming in onto the right side, and a change up top, one that I think was desperately needed. Bailey Cadamartri coming in for Dickie Ugbo. So Henrik mixing it up a little bit there. I mean, as we know, there's not much he can do. But a couple of changes. Good to see Cooper getting there. Experienced player. We know he'll get his head on things, and there were plenty of that tonight. As there was actually from Dominic Iofa, who took a bit of stick at the weekend. I thought he's had a decent game tonight. And Wednesday did something that they didn't manage to do at weekend, really. We got a shot away after about 2 or 3 minutes through Barry Bannon. Quite a positive start from Wednesday. And I genuinely thought we could take something from the game. I really did. Millwall coming up Wednesday, it's quite a frenetic start to the game, and then it starts, it finds a natural flow and rhythm. There a couple of good attacks down the right hand side, crosses into the box. Olvarth made a terrific save, a low save. The rebound bobbled back out. Sometimes you don't get the bounce, do you? And it drops at defender's boot for big oof over the stand. Second shot came razing in, and Sean Fuzier done brilliantly to get himself in a blocking position and stop what were probably a certain goal, with a bit of his hip and a bit of his back there. And Wednesday we're having a go. I talked on Saturday, and probably Saturday before that, and Wednesday before that, whatever it was, that one of the problems Wednesday's got is certainly in midfield, is that they're very busy in there all the time, obviously. But the ball's coming back too often. But they're trying to make support runs up there, but the ball's coming back. Then they're having to get back and help defence. Cadamartri came in up front tonight, and he give us more. He will chase things down. He will force defenders into mistake. He'll try and up ball up and give midfield and defence time to, push out. Little holes, given goals. He got a really good shot away. It was about 25 minutes or so. McNeil had done well. He advanced through the middle of the pitch, found Cadamartri, and this is what you get with the youngsters. That sort of, I'll have a pop. There's no fear in there. So he has a pop from about 25 yards. Keeper makes a good save. I think it took a bit of a deflection, actually. I think it was a better save than I thought initially on second viewing. But when's he having a go at it? And I think that was one of the criticisms that people had on Saturday against United. We didn't seem, really to have a go at it. I don't particularly agree with that. I think we did have a bit of a go at it, but perhaps in a different way than tonight. I thought tonight against Millwall we were quite direct where we could be, and on Saturday I thought we couldn't be direct because, as I said, the ball kept coming back. You can only be direct if you've got a focal point. If you haven't got a focal point, you're going to have to play that shorter game, and I think that's one of the reasons we come unstuck Saturday. But certainly tonight with Cadamarchi up there, putting himself about, a willing runner in the channel. Our fullbacks tonight had always got an out ball if they looked like they were in trouble. And he was being ably supported, as I said, by Barry Bannon, who was playing a bit more advanced tonight, and Charlie McNeil doing the same, but in a wider role on the right. I thought Wednesday looked more solid overall with Cooper in there. Dominic Iorfa obviously had to play in the middle at the weekend, but he's more comfortable as a right-sided centre-half. Cooper's come in middle, and I thought we saw a much better performance from Iorfa as that right-sided centre-half. They were, I won't say they were specifically targeting our right side, but certainly Vizier had got his work cut out there. And I thought he did really well in first half, actually. There were a number of times he cut out passes, and a couple of times when he's actually outpaced their winger to get to a through ball or a little clip over the top. And on the occasions when he didn't, Iorfa were there to come flying out and sweep from that right-sided centre-half position. Although there was one that was a bit naughty. Well, not so much naughty. It just arrived very late. Probably sometime next week. Went trailing legal van they get there. But it was outside the box. But a couple of little air-raising things. But overall, I thought he had a good game. And I think a lot of that was down to just being shuffled. I know it's only 2 or 3 yards to the right, but it looks more natural there. And as I said, Cooper coming in middle and giving us a really strong presence in centre. Just before half-time, audacious effort from Barry Bannon. The technique on it's superb because the angle his body's at, he's not perfectly straight on, but he knows where he's going to catch it across his foot. He's got to get it to come back in, so he's absolutely wefts his. But I think it's just about level with far side at centre circle. 40 odd yards at least. Keeper has to make a really good save actually. He's backpedaling, and I thought, oh, he's in. But that ball came through, and it's what I've just mentioned before, Cadamarchi. It's a ball in, and he just flicks it round the corner. He's good centre forward play, he's got that awareness, but he knows Barry's there, and as that ball comes in, he's not trying to get it under control, flicks it straight out. And Baz, that is, I think there's only him who'll try that, isn't he? Audacious, it probably deserved a goal, to be honest with you. 49 minutes, they should be in lead just after the break. It's been a bit of an issue for Wednesday this season that we concede goals early into half. The first half, I was really pleased we got in 0-0. Second half, the lad down right hand side, really, really big lad, he was a powerful runner. He got in behind, I think it was a mass, cuts a lovely ball across, and there forward, it's come across him, his little turning box onto his left foot. He's got to bury it. He's about 5 yards out. Slams it wide, And Wednesday should be a goal down there. But that was probably the first time I thought we really got cut open. They're starting to turn the screw though. I don't know if Alex Neil's got stuck into them at half time, but it's like 2 or 3 minutes after that they had a goal disallowed. Lad were allowed to turn in box and just slot it home. It was only a yard or two out, but flag had gone up for offside. I mean, he was offside, but the fact that there were nobody near him when he did his little turn and tuck in was a bit of concern. And it's these little wobbles after the break, so it's always beginning of a game or always after half time. There was this thing, it seems to take us 5 or 10 minutes to get going. And then it comes to luck, doesn't it? Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, so I mean, you could say that offside was lucky. It is what it is with offside, isn't it? But a fantastic strike from Charlie McNeil. It's a ball down left-hand side. A mass gets it across. It's a bit messy in box. But McNeil arrives and he absolutely cracks it. Underside at bar. Comes out on diagonal on the other side, and it's just... But Bannon effort in first half, with keeper making us save, and then that thundering against Woodwork. I don't know what it is about Woodwork rather than goalkeepers making saves that makes you start thinking, oh, it's not going to be our day. Are you like that? Their keeper makes 9 or 10 great saves. I'm just like, right, yeah, well, shot its post. I'm like, oh, God, the gods are against us. Do you know what I mean? Bizarre, isn't it? Yeah, so McNeil thunders one against Bard. It sort of gets recycled onto the left. Ingleson clips it back in. Cadamartri heads it down onto their lad's hand. It's not an handball for me. There's a massive shout goes up, and it does hit his hand. But if somebody heads ball down at you from like a foot away, I don't know what you're expected to do. I mean, I would have loved Wednesday to have had a penalty. Of course I would, and a chance to get some points, but bit old-fashioned. I don't want to be seeing handballs and penalties given for stuff that's, clearly not deliberate. Leading heartburn again. It's after McNeil chance at Millwall really starts to turn screwy. Alex Neil makes an also substitutions, and I don't know, I'd say from 55 minutes to maybe 70, 75 minutes, they're really starting to come at us. Then he's took 2 wide players on, and they're pinning a mass and Fizzier back a bit. I'm not going to say the goal was coming, but the pressure was certainly being cranked. Wednesday were under big pressure. However, I thought we were dealing with it pretty well. Iofa, Cooper, they're getting their heads to things. There was a couple of fantastic blocks by Ingleson. Max loaded brilliantly at one bit to catch the right winger who come in after he'd got towards the byline and put a block in and put it out for a corner when it looked like he were going to get in. And like I said, they were turning screw, but I thought we were defending quite resolutely. It's how long you can defend like that for, though, isn't it? 58 minutes, 60 minutes. That lad down right hand side again, big number 6. I forget his name. He's put an absolutely brilliant cross into the box. The real wicked curve on it. It gets in behind Wednesday's defence. Their subs coming in on bike stick, and Fuzier's done brilliantly. He's tracked him all the way back and gets there in front of him and bolts it away. But it's really good tracking back and defending. And like I said, there were plenty of that tonight. There were plenty of commitment. They were getting up and down, getting a footing, and that goes for all of them all over at Park. I thought they really give it a go tonight, Wednesday. I'm more upset about tonight than I were about Saturday. And I know Saturday's a pummeling to nearest rivals, but I'm more upset about today because I thought we actually deserved something from the game. If you get beat and you haven't played well or opposition's been better than you, so. But I really, really felt we deserved something out of tonight. I really did. Yeah, a spell of pressure. Ingleson makes a block on the line. Then they get a corner. He makes another block from header, and then it pops out to the left-hand side. And for all Millwall had knocked ball about quite well, and on Wednesday had some decent little attacks, it's just a little up and under. And how often is that the case with football? We talk about tactics and systems, and are we going to press? Are we counter-attacking? Are we keep possession of ball and tick-attack it and this and that, and everyone's talking about set pieces these days and long throws and statistics, and that's that is literally just an old-fashioned up and under. It's popped out and kids just lofted it up in air 30 foot, and that Aziz has got in and got an header. I'm not going to be too critical at keeper because he's made 2 or 3 really good saves again tonight, but I thought he started coming for that, and I thought, oh, he's going to get a good fist on it, and then he sort of decided not to. But I don't think he could get back on line in time to give himself a position to get an hand. But they take lead, and it's that sinking feeling again, because as I've said, Saturday against United and nearly every other game this season, you always feel like Wednesday's going to have to score first goal to take anything from a game. And as soon as they'd scored that, all I'm thinking about is, that hitting bar and the save from Bannon, and think we're just not having that bit of luck here. I mean, there were still chances from Wednesday. Henrik had to freshen things up a bit, but Jamal low on. And I thought this was actually probably Wednesday's best move at game. I mean, it weren't hundreds of little passes or anything like that, although I'm not bothered about that anyway. Quite direct. McNeil on the right-hand side, he's fist a fantastic crossfield pass to Adrian Mas. It's a wonderful ball, just nudges it out, looks, pings it right across. A Mas quality control, we know what a terrific little player he is. He drives on, comes inside, and a little square roller. Jamal Lowe's got up, and it's a fantastic hit. He don't smash it, he's not trying out too clever, just opens his body. Little clipper with instep, round defender. Keeper's got no idea. Keeper's got no idea what that is, and it clanks off at post, and that's, cat jumping biscuits. Yeah, clips post, and like I said, that's when it's bad luck, innit? Post, bar. Like I said, being outplayed, I can take that. I'm not. Yeah. And that's not to say Millwall didn't have most of the second half, because they did. They created quite a few opportunities, but a lot of them were blazed wide, high, and I never felt under that much pressure. I thought we were quite resolute, but then as soon as they get that lead, and then that little bit of bad luck. And speaking of luck, there's sort of 3 or 4 minutes left, I think, at game. Little through ball, McNeil on his bike, pulling away from man, gets into the box, turns in. First lad's pulling his shirt, and a second man comes in and he sort of nudges ball past him. It's clearly taken. It's clearly caught his ankle. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Massive screams go up. Referee, nothing doing. Books Barry Bannon for moaning about it, and then a few seconds later he gives a free kick in the middle of the park for nothing. A frustrating evening, but it's that mixture for me, that a combination of proud of the effort that they've put in, frustration that we haven't got something from the game, and again a sort of easy goal that we've conceded. It is just an up and under and a very simple header. That's frustrating again. But like I said, mixed in there is that little feeling of not getting Robert Green and a little bit of bad luck, because we could have quite easily had 3 or 4 goals tonight, which, considering the last month or so when we've barely mustered a shot, I felt for lads tonight, because I really do feel like they deserve to take something from that game. I really do. And they look quite despondent at the end of that match. Quite a few down at Orchards, quite a few of them hobbling away, which is a bit of a worry as well. But it's now 11 games, we had a win. Gets tougher. Henrik and his team's going to have the work cut out, because you've got to try and keep the lads lifted. Which the longer the run goes on, the harder and harder that'll become. But I do think they can take some positives out tonight. I really do. I thought there were times when we looked quite lively up front, perhaps for first time in a while. Not afraid to get shots away, which you get that with young lads, because they ain't got that fear factor. And like I said, for me, a little bit unlucky not to come away with at least a point. see that as ease, 5 goals in 9 games. And this is what we're talking about, innit? You look at players coming off a bench, and same Saturday, Saturday. United can bring Aimer off bench, probably the best attacking midfield player in the division. Henrik, his hands are largely tied behind his back. He can tweak things about a bit. I thought Barry Bannon were more of a sort of 10 in that floating position today. McNeil looked like a proper outside right at times. And I would say it was a genuine back three for large parts of the game. But it is a little bit of a case of, old sword, new scabbard. And we do need to get bodies in January.